And last but not least, my favorite watch this week was Lisa Frankenstein, directed by Zelda Williams, written by Diablo Cody. Zelda Williams is Robin Williams' daughter, if you did not know. Boy, oh boy, I love this movie. This is not going to be for everybody. Tone-wise, this is going to absolutely not work for some people, but for the people it works for, this is going to be a beloved cult movie for a ton of people. And I think a lot of people could discover this movie and enjoy it and not suspect that they would enjoy it. Basic idea is you've got Lisa, played by Kathryn Newton, and Kathryn Newton is fantastic in this. And I know she's been in some other things, but I think this is a real breakout for her because she has to really carry this movie. Lisa played by Kathryn Newton, the creature played by Cole Sprouse, and then a couple other people you have in here. Her stepsister is Lisa Soberano. I don't know this person, but she's really good. And then Janet, her stepmom, is played by Carla Gugino, which we love from so many things, but she has a great, not huge role, but a great role in this movie. Basic idea. This is kind of like Humanist Vampire from earlier this year. This is like even more so the Tim Burton movie that Tim Burton never made, especially early era Tim Burton movie. This just has some of that DNA in it. So that will really tell you if you are down for this movie, because it's going to have some level of that kind of quirkiness and stylization, but not quite as severe as Tim Burton does. The basic concept is this. This is in the 80s, late 80s, 89, I believe. Lisa's mother has recently died. Her father has remarried. Now she has a stepmom, as I mentioned before, Carla Gugino, and a stepsister. And Lisa is the outcast kid. She is like a Tim Burton character would be. She's in high school, and she, will spend her time hanging out and dreaming about a better life, hanging out in the local, like, abandoned cemetery, doing cemetery rubbings, and hanging out with this one gravestone specifically, which has a carved bust of this young man on it who was unmarried and had died. And all I will say is that after her trip to a party that goes awry because she's very antisocial, as you might suspect, she is the dark kid in the bright 80s. Lightning happens. That's it. Lightning happens, and a undead guy from the nearby graveyard just shows up at her house, and there he is. And he's just moaning and groaning and not in good shape and freaking her out. And now almost like E.T. or something, or obviously like Edward Scissorhands, but I think even almost like E.T. She has this dead thing in her house that she has to hide and starts having a friendship with. I love it. I think it's the tone, the comedic slash sort of horrific tone of this movie, I think just is super on point for my taste, I would say. Great soundtrack. I mean, it's got 80s stuff, but it's somewhat obscure 80s stuff. Really great weird dialogue with her just interacting with the world and with this creature. That once again, if you know Diablo Cody, it doesn't quite go as hard quirkiness as she does in Juno, but you see those bits of flair in here, which I think works better here than it does in a supposedly realistic world. This is a very stylized world, which I think serves well for her style of writing. There is a level of darkness and violence and actual stakes that I think also helps this movie quite a bit. Now, some people, and I would even count myself in this camp, some people would probably appreciate this going even darker, being like a little bit harder R. This is really like a hard PG-13, but considering what the tone this movie's going for, it's probably right where it needs to be. I was pulled in from the first, 10 or 15 minutes. I would highly, highly recommend at least giving Lisa Frankenstein a chance. I think this beat my expectations quite a bit. I thought it would be way goofier, and it is kind of goofy, but it's goofy in the right way to me. I thought it'd be way goofier and way lighter and wouldn't hit me like this does. I think this is going to be a kind of definitely a cult classic for people. And for me, this is going to be an easy rewatch and an easy own. I'm going to say 4.5 right now. This probably will go up to 5 stars for me because I really love this movie. Yeah, Lisa Frankenstein is great. Okay, I guess that's all I have for this week.